All right, so our path toward medical school, we want to keep in mind our timeline. We always want to think, how long is something going to take? So becoming a doctor is a big commitment, as Claire mentioned, because it's going to take a lot of time for us to get set up in each part of the path to how much time we're going to commit. So high school, we're going to do a 4-year diploma. Everybody knows that. You go from freshman to senior year. During our time in high school, we want to be taking all those hard science classes. We want to be taking APs. When we get to college, that's going to be another 4 years. Now, if you're doing work in high school, like taking college courses or APs, you can shorten the time in college if you want, but most students average about 4 years. Medicine is going to be 4 years. There's no debating that. Every United States medical school is a 4-year school. It's designed that way on purpose. 2 years of your medical training are going to be just book learning. We call those the didactic years. So in medical school, you're going to have 2 years devoted to just learning sciences. At that period of time, you're going to be preparing for your United States medical licensing exam, the USMLE, which is a big exam that everybody has to take. Along with that, you'll be gaining clinical experience and joining clubs and having fun with other students. Now, after the next 2 years, you're in the hospitals, basically working side by side with doctors, and we call those your clinical years. During your clinical years, you're going to be rotating through different subset specialties in medicine. So you'll do a subset specialty in family medicine. You might do emergency medicine as elective. Everybody takes general classes like OBGYN, internal medicine, and you'll step your way through learning about all the different avenues of medicine. Finally, in your 4th year of medical school, you get to pick electives. So if you like emergency medicine or orthopedics, if you want to become a radiologist, you can pick specific specialties that you can focus on along the way. And that's something that we can even advise on current medical students. How do you pick electives? A lot of the time, doing these things takes a lot of phone calls. It takes a lot of networking with hospitals, meeting the right administrators, and setting up these electives for yourself or having someone else do it for you. Next, we want to think about the timeline after medical school. So you do your 4 years of medical school, you get all the training, all the book knowledge, then you have to pick your residency. Your residency is going to set you up for success in your future career. Your residency is going to be your subspecialty. You can do family medicine, internal medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, orthopedics. And we just want to remember that the residency you get into, it has other medical students competing. So there's going to be a competition to get the residency that you want. You might apply to 100 different residencies all across the country, all across the world to get into the hospital you want. It's very competitive. Some specialties are more competitive than others. A lot of people want to become orthopedic surgeons or radiologists. So there's going to be a lot more competition, which means you need to prepare and have things in line during medical school so that you're a very competent applicant. They want you in their program because you've shown an interest, you have what it takes, you understand the career you're stepping into. And then finally, we want to think about fellowships and actually working as an attending. So fellowships are specialized training. If you did internal medicine, you could do a fellowship in gastroenterology, where you'll learn all about the GI tract in a human, the digestive system. And the fellowship is important because that can help you have a higher income later on, help you specialize to see a certain kind of patient you want to work with, and help you really refine your skills as a physician. And then finally, after that entire process, our residency being 3 to 7 years, depending on the specialty, our fellowship averaging about 2, you're now a board certified attending physician, and you can work in your trained field for the rest of your life. The amazing thing about medicine is that once you are certified, you never really have to find a job. You are the job. You've learned the skill. You have the talent. And that's something that you're just not going to find in other careers. Medicine is amazing because once you get to that point, you start training other doctors. You start really specializing and maybe doing specific research, and you're the doctor who's driving this next level of research in your field. And the more specialized you become, the more unique you become in the medical field, the rarer you become, because there's just not that many people that will go through this process. But just alone, I want you to think about, take a look at this and say, wow, that is a big commitment. That's 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 3 to 7 years of residency, and then finally a fellowship. This is a huge lifelong commitment. You're in this for the long run. I had to make that commitment at some point when I said, okay, I'm becoming a doctor. I have to buckle down and get all the prerequisites done. I have to do it. And, I've gotten to this point because I made that decision and put all the things in play. And what we want to talk about is how we can help get you through that process, but also just so that you understand what that process is really going to look like.